So this is part two of that first crazy part that I did last time. So I think I ended off where I said he found out I was pregnant. I told him I was pregnant, and then we were seeing each other again, but he wasn't living with me anymore at this time. He was just kind of like he was living with me, but he wasn't living with me. He had his own place, but he would come and stay with me for a very long time. Bear in mind, like I was cooking for this person, and I was making sure he got packed lunch to go to work and all that stuff. So he had it good. He had it cushy, right? So I think he was just coming all the time. Like I didn't have any space, and to make it worse, we were not even going out dating, or he would never buy me flowers or anything. Only the things that I'll ask him to get. And for him, that's him making effort. If I asked him to get something, he would do it straight away, and that's him. That's like, yeah, that's me, I'm doing it. So anyway, I told him I can't do this relationship anymore, and then he said he will kill himself, and I said, well, send the deed, send your location, because what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to have this on my on my head. And then it's like, no, don't. And I'm thinking, so you know what you're doing, right? Anyway, so I said you can still obviously be in their kid's life as much as you can, etc. And then it's like, okay, cool. So what happened was when we had my 12-week scan coming up, but I don't know, something was just feeling funny in me anyway. I just didn't want him there anyway, because we're just broken up. He had just threatened me that he's gonna kill himself, and I just thought, I'm not doing this. So I went to the scan anyway, and then I found out that the baby hasn't grown. The baby wasn't growing, hadn't grown for a couple of weeks and stuff. So I needed to have a D&C, which was very traumatic for me because I was already like 12 weeks. So by the time they gave me everything, I was like maybe like 13 or 14. So I was already kind of like further along, and it was really so hard for me. I was depressed for a very long time. I lost myself and all that stuff, and I was dealing with it myself again because he's not the kind of person that knows. I did tell him, by the way, about the loss, and all he can think about is himself. He'll be like, oh my god, you have no idea what I'm going through. And I'm thinking, what you're going through, like the fuck, it was just so difficult because I had actually gone around the idea of having a baby, and I had already planned it out, what I'm going to do work-wise, etc, etc. So it was a bit of a blow in the face for me, but nonetheless, I will recover. And once that loss gone, I told him I can't be with you anymore, because I felt like the only thing that was tying us together was the baby. So during this time, I broke up with him, and he was just messaging me, guys, like, I'll tell him fuck off, and he would literally just be like, come on babe, please. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how many more times do I need to say it? I'll block him, he'll find another way to contact me. He'll send family members that I don't fucking know. I remember when we were together, I would ask him like, oh, your sister wanted my number, your mom wanted my number, and all that stuff, and it would take ages for me to have their number. And he would just be texting and texting, guys, like just bombarding me with messages, and it was more emotional. Like he wasn't listening to anything I would say. Like I would write him a paragraph, like, and he would only pick up one or two things. I would be like, yeah, I know you're hurt, I understand, but I'm sorry, and things like that. And I managed to kind of like ignore him for a while. Bear in mind, I'm also going through the pain of losing a pregnancy, so it's something that I didn't really know how to deal with in that moment. My daughter, she knew about the pregnancy, and she was hurt. She's not saying much, and I'm overthinking, I'm stressed, like, oh my god, why did I put myself and my daughter into the situation? And then I was like, okay, so I was broken up with him for like a month now. It's been a month. I've lost some weight, and I am, I'm getting there, basically. And then I had my Christmas work due. So I had not really spoken about my pregnancy loss that much. I spoke to my friend, the same friend who I went with to the work do. So she knew, like, I've always been like strong persona and all that stuff. And sorry if I keep looking up, it's because my beauty mirror is showing a different version to what's being recorded, love. Anyway, so at that time I kind of opened up to her, and I was absolutely crying, and just like the fucking devil, that guy messages me, and he's like, I'm really sorry, I know you're hurting and all that stuff. And then I'm trying to explain to him. The whole time it's always me trying to explain to him how I'm feeling. And then he goes like, oh, come on babe, I promise, blah blah blah. And then in my drunk state, I had another moment of weakness. And then I ended up meeting with him, and then he ended up coming over to the house. And I remember my sister was there, and when she saw his face, she was so disappointed. And then I would think to myself, well, fuck this, like, this is my life, like, why do I have to explain anything to anybody, you know, blah 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 blah. This is, you know, this is the heart. And because at the time I felt like I didn't really try my best, and I felt like it was the pregnancy that hated him, not me. Because remember, we broke up, and then I found out I was pregnant. So I had been pregnant when me and him were together. So I thought that those are the hormones, and he made me believe those were the hormones. And he said that, you know, with pregnancy, I've been doing my research, and sometimes they can make you make bad decisions and stuff like that. And I truly, you know, hands up, like, I was it is what it is. I kind of like fell for it. And then we got back together. So now we go back together, but we're not living together, right? And things are bliss for like a month. The guy is like, it was amazing. We would look into each other's eyes and all that stuff. Like, it's almost as if all the problems, all the reasons why I broke up with him the first time had fucking melted away. I wasn't even stigmatized. That's like how deep it was. Like, so we ended up you know, we were together, and then all of a sudden, like, we had spoken about like engagement and stuff, and I'd always told him that I didn't want to get married, and if I did, it would be after a fucking while, right? So tell me why this motherfucker engages me on New Year's Day. And, you know, in my head, I am pushing. I am literally like, Charlotte, maybe this is how your story is meant to go. Maybe this is how it's meant to be. I'm like, okay, you know, I've never gotten close in a relationship enough to get engaged. So I thought, oh my God, yeah, this is great. Oh my God, you know, whatever. And he, you know, there were red flags. Even on the engagement, there were red flags. We didn't even call his mom or sister to celebrate the engagement with us. He would always say, I'll call them later, I'll call them later, I'll call them later. And we just never did. There were so many red flags, but I didn't really, I don't know. I have nothing to say to defend myself in that sense. All I can say is I don't know, because even now as I look back, or as I'm talking about it out loud now, I don't know. That's the honest truth. So obviously now we're engaged, and other things happened. Like I said, I can't mention these things, they're not my place to mention, but there are things that I've had to kind of like accept, and I knew about it. Now I had to accept it, and then now I had to kind of like work with him for this thing. If you can read between the lines, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, then, you know. So now we are now, you know, we're not living together, like I said, but he's always at the house, so it's almost like we live together. You know, he's buying food, I'm cooking like a fucking slave, y'all. And when it was just me and my daughter, like, you know, we would go eat out, or my daughter will make something for herself, or I'll have a Sunny for dinner, whatever. But he wanted like full meals and all that stuff. And again, because he wasn't forcing me to do them, he wasn't like, oh, woman, get in the kitchen. I felt like it's all me. Like, it's me. I'm the problem. It's all me. So at this point, I'm feeling burnt out, and I feel unappreciated because, like I said before, I'm not even getting flowers. We're not even going out. We're not even doing anything. And the days that he's off, he's always sleeping. So it's not like we're spending time together. So at this point, I am just saying myself as a hardworking man, and he just needs to rest. I need to just chill out, right? So this is me trying to take away my independence, as in, like, you know, doing everything on my own. I'm trying, you know. And then everything is kind of like, you know, stale. Like, everything's just stagnant. Like, nothing's moving. We're just there, you know. We're not doing anything. And then a couple of weeks, like a week or two before Valentine's Day, I'm so excited. You know, I've never gotten a guy a gift before, because the fuck do you think I am? But I did this time. That's probably why my relationships didn't work before, because I never got them a gift. Anyway, Valentine's Day come now, and I get him gifts. These gifts are personal to him. I took my time to get to know him, and things that I know he will use every single day and things like that. So my stuff is getting delivered, and he's just there like, oh, I don't know what to get you, I don't know what to get you. And he is saying this every single day, like every single week, because obviously the deliveries are arriving, and oh, you know, I packed up, addressed it to him and all that stuff, and He's just like, I don't know how to get you, I don't know how to get you, I don't know how to get you, I don't know how to get you. And I'm like, it's like now a week before and he just doesn't know how to get me. The first time was funny because I thought, oh, you know, it's like a little surprise for me. It's like throw me off. But no, I don't think he genuinely knew what to get me. So I said to him, well, you know, after hearing it for so long, I said to him, don't worry about getting me anything, but I do want the massive flowers. I want the massive flowers that you see on TikTok. And I showed him on TikTok. And it's like, okay, cool. So now, although I knew I wasn't getting anything, I knew I was going to get the flowers that I wanted. I showed him quite a few different ones and I was excited to see which one he would get for me. So it's now 5 days before Valentine's Day. I asked him if he's booked anywhere to eat. He's like, oh, can you do it? And I said, no. Can you do it? Like, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh, okay, cool. And then he books somewhere, like a takeaway, like an Indian takeaway place. I'm like, I don't even like Indian food. Do you know what I mean? And then he tells me now that they emailed him saying the time that he's booked. So he had work on this day and he can like finish early at work, by the way. He absolutely can. He just chose not to on Valentine's Day. And he, I said, I don't want to go there. So he cancelled there. And now we have no restaurant. It's 4 days out. So now I'm looking. And then I found a spot last minute on Mill and Carter. And then I'm excited like a fucking fool, right? And I book it. And he gives me the money to pay the deposit and everything. Paid the deposit. And then, you know, I just sit down and this guy doesn't give a fuck about our first Valentine's. And I says to him, I don't want to go. And then he goes like, oh, why? And I said, because, and I explained to him how I felt. Bear in mind, this is now like the 13th. I've not received anything. And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to come the next day. So Friday, nothing happens. He didn't even wish me happy Valentine's Day. The day goes on and then he comes back from work with some dead flowers from Aldi. You know, when everything's gone and whatever is left. And I was like, so I told my sister and my sisters tried to speak to him. But now he was now having a vendetta against my sister because he was now saying your sister's telling you things and she's planting things in your head. He is completely ignoring everything I'm saying, that I went to my sister. He thinks I'm an idiot or I have got no sense or something. Like I'm not capable of going to my sister and telling her myself. Like he thinks that my sister being in my life has put things in my head. And this just further frustrates me because that's not what happened. He's not listening to anything I'm saying. My sister is trying to talk to him. He's just not engaging. And then he tells her, is she free, like on the 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, to go help him get something? My sister says, no, like this is your relationship. You go, don't you know her? You go get something for her yourself. At this point, I'm done. I start withdrawing emotionally. And I am depressed, guys. I am so depressed at this point. But I'm staying because he's telling me, babe, what are flowers? You know what? I'm gonna give you the world. You know, let me just work, get my money up. Oh, this doesn't matter. Don't worry about all this. You know, don't worry about all this. Don't worry. Like, just proper, like, get in my ear. And like I said, if I try to even have space from him, I'm not allowed. He will literally be begging. Sorry. And then he will start being like extra nice with Kaylee, like asking her, come show me this drawing, come do this and all that stuff, you know. And I'm thinking this guy's manipulating me, but then he will swear on his life. It's not. So I started being in two minds. Like, is he unaware that he's doing it? Like, if he's unaware, then I'm shouting at him for no reason because he's technically innocent because he doesn't know he's doing it. Or does he know he's doing it? And like I was at a loss because at this point, if you look at him, if you see him or if you spend time with him, is that kind of guy where you will feel sorry for him and you will believe what he's saying because he will try to explain himself. And then I look like a fucking dickhead. If my sister and her partner did not spend time with us, they would not believe me. But because my sister's partner is his friend, he knows him, what he's like, and my sister spent time with him, and like, you would know. Like if you didn't know him, you wouldn't believe me. But because they spent time with him, they when I said something, they believed it. So I'm now like at a situation where I was stuck, but I just stayed because I thought, you know, I see some relationships where people say we've been together for 20 plus years. You don't know what we've been through. We've enjoyed everything. So I'm thinking this is what I need to endure for us to then have a good relationship. And my soul, like I said, my spirit's fighting. So I'm unhappy inside. I'm absolutely stressed out. And then towards the end of February or mid-February, I find out that I'm pregnant again. And I was like, okay, at this point, I accept any bad thing that's happening to me because I believe this was self-inflicted. I put myself in this situation. I had a chance to run away the first time and I didn't. So whatever happens now, I'm just gonna have to take it, even if the relationship ends up being abusive, which it already was emotionally abusive, but I had accepted that if anything else was going to happen, I would just take it. So he wasn't physical or anything like that. He didn't show any tendencies of physical behavior. So I can't say he'll be physical, but I don't know. But at this point, I'm having bad luck in my personal life. Like I got hit by a fucking car. Like my car got hit twice in an accident. Like things that I had not, you know, I'm having bad luck, guys. I'm going through it. I'm going through it, okay? And I just accept it because at this point, it's my own doing. I had a chance to get away. You know what they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I was now on twice. So shame on me. And that is what I fed myself. But I then went through another situation, which will be in part 3, and that will be the last part because I'm still living part 3 at the moment. So I won't have, you know, yeah. Thank you for watching.